Instead, just west of Minneapolis. The deputies made contact with the subject, entered the home, and were then shot.
They were able to get out of the house on their own and were treated and released from the hospital. Local, state, and federal officers converged on the neighborhood and surrounded the house. Kids from a nearby daycare were evacuated in an armored vehicle. The county sheriff says the man barricaded himself in a nearby home for several hours before they found his body last night using a drone. California grappling with another mass shooting in just a span of 3 days. 7 people were killed in the coastal city of Half Moon Bay. It's about 30 miles south of San Francisco. A suspect is now in custody.
The shooting comes as another victim of Saturday's shooting at a dance studio near Los Angeles has died, bringing that death toll to 11. There's no word on motives in either case. It is now 6:50 on this Tuesday morning. Let's get a check of your forecast out there. We're dealing with some of this today. Snowflakes. Lisa Green explains. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. More coming down with the latest clipper moving through. This one bringing snow mainly into eastern North Dakota for the moment, but this is moving west to east. So this first round of it going to eventually pass into Minnesota as well. And you can see there are a couple of areas with some light snow, but the main part of this is just west of Grand Forks right now, moving into the Amaretto area, stretching back over toward places like Niagara this morning, and then down into Cooperstown and into places like Valley City as well, or just north of town, seeing the bulk of that snow. So this is moving east, so along Highway 2 you're going to run into issues here, and then Fargo-Moorhead may see some of this snow move in as well in the next couple of hours, probably an hour or less, I would say, for Fargo-Moorhead. This is the live view in Devil's Lake. Not much of one. The camera dome covered in that snow, and then a little bit of melting happening there too. That red light, that's the home of economy sign. I did see some flashing lights go by, indicating that there was a plow coming through to treat the roads, but it's a little bit murky there. Devil's Lake reporting snow out at the airport, 21 degrees there. It's 13 in Bemidji. Fargo's just partly cloudy at 18 and 15 degrees currently in Grand Forks. So out at the bus stop, we've got that chance for some snow showers this morning. Into the afternoon, we rise into some mid-20s for highs today, so another milder day, with wind that will be eventually turning to a northerly direction. Most of the daytime hours, though, we should be seeing a quieter south wind. And I can't even rule out some snow showers into the afternoon. It just depends on where you are and the timing of this. And we're looking at another inch or so of snow for some of us. Again, these are scattered light snow showers, so it'll be different everywhere, but enough to coat some of those roads and lead to some slick spots. Wednesday morning, a few flakes lingering. We're going to cool down for the day. And then as we head into Thursday and Friday, that's that more potent storm system highlighted in red here, a first alert weather day for Friday. We're going to see a lot of that snow move through Thursday night, but with the wind and even a little bit of a mix, Friday morning's commute could be quite tough. And Arctic air, as you can see here, moving in behind it. So some big changes on the way and happening right now. Even a little bit of snow out there can cause some trouble. So we're dealing with that this morning for the morning drive and even into the evening hours tonight.
Yeah, kind of a lot to be mindful of, more so than we initially even thought just last week. So thank you for that update this morning, Lisa. And of course, we want to get a real-time look at our road report this morning with Jordan.
Yeah, let's take a look at how those road conditions are going. Lisa Green showing us that sky cam there. It was kind of hard to see exactly what was going on in the background with all the stuff coming down. So taking a look at our Devil's Lake Basin this morning, we're going to notice that the roads there have the dashed purple line. That means partially snow covered. We move to the east of the Devil's Lake Basin into Grand Forks, Walsh, Pembina counties. They're actually showing some ice on the roads there this morning. That is the case on I-29 from the northern part of Pembina County down to the city of Grand Forks. Once we hit Grand Forks, head farther south, we're actually looking at mostly green, so seasonal conditions. But then they kind of get a little tricky as we head more toward the southern part of the state as well. Ransom, Sargent County, Dickey-Lemoore as well. They're actually dealing with some partial ice coverage on the roads there. Otherwise, I-94 from Fargo going to just about Jamestown. We're talking seasonal conditions there. Bismarck to the west, there they're dealing with partial snow coverage. And that's how the western half of the state really dealing with snow coverage as well. Minot, Williston, Dickinson as well. So make sure you are careful if you're heading that way. Minnesota, a bit of a different story this morning. Better. I like all the green that we're seeing here. Just to the south of Fergus Falls along I-94, we're showing some pink on our map in Minnesota. That means snow covered. That area of I-94 always seems to be a problem. So if you're heading to the cities, watch out. Northern part of Minnesota, though, that's where we're starting to see some potential for the ice and snow accumulation. Highway 2 heading to Bemidji is seeing that around with Highway 11 from International Falls, Baudette, War Road. Watch out if you're heading up in that neck of the woods. But we'll keep you updated on this coming up here in the 7 o'clock hour and on your VNL News app. Ashlyn?
All right, thank you for that update, Jordan. New details on last week's murder in Wahpeton. Court documents say the victim and the suspect were at the Dakota Magic Casino in Hankinson prior to that shooting. Investigators say security video shows the two came and went from the casino together, but they're still searching for a motive. The victim, 40-year-old Jeremiah Maidenwald, was buried yesterday. Police found his body outside of a car last Monday night in front of Stearns Arena and Wahpeton High School. 33-year-old Anthony Kruger was arrested 4 days after the shooting, and police say he was still wearing the clothes he had on the day of the murder. Kruger is officially charged with Maidenwald's murder, as well as possession of meth with intent to deliver and unlawful possession of a firearm. He's in jail on $1 million cash bond. A Moorhead woman is in jail accused in a string of violent crimes against her ex-girlfriend and another woman. 28-year-old Cassandra Perez is charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, criminal sexual conduct, domestic assault, and making violent threats. Court documents say Perez sprayed lighter fluid on a woman and tried to light her on fire. Police say when the lighter didn't work, Perez then stabbed the victim. Another victim told police Perez hit her several times, pushed her face into a snowbank, and hit her head against concrete steps. We told you last week about a missing Moorhead man, and now police say that same guy is in jail in Fargo for trespassing and assaulting a police officer. Fargo police were called to the 5200 block of 23rd Avenue South just after 5:30 a.m. Sunday for a report of a man who was trespassing.
Police say 36-year-old Jason Rodenbaugh was making verbal threats to officers before physically assaulting one of them. Rodenbaugh was reported missing out of Moorhead last week. However, he was found safe on Friday. Tax cuts and rebates. Today's the day we'll get a look at Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's entire budget proposal for the next 2 years. He has been giving us pieces of it over the past few days. Walz will be joined by Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan this afternoon to unveil their plan, which is said to include the largest tax cut in state history and a renewed proposal to send a portion of the state's surplus directly back to Minnesotans in the form of checks. It's happening at 1, so stay with us right here at Valley News Live and on your VNL News app for information.
Something's cooking up at Hector Airport in North Fargo, and we'll find out later today what exactly it is. Executive Director Sean Doberstein is holding a news conference this afternoon to tell us all about what they're calling an innovative news service that will be offered in Fargo. Moorhead's interim fire chief is the new permanent replacement. Jeff Wallen had been filling in since 2021 and was hired last night to fill the job.
Wallen has been with the city since '94 and previously worked as a fire marshal, EMT, and EMS instructor. In December, the 988 Crisis Lifeline answered 48% more calls and 1,400% more text messages from people that are battling with their mental health. That's compared to the same time period in 2021.
More people may be turning to the hotline for help, and experts say you can help out too if you're experiencing a family member or friend who might be dealing with some burdens. The Valley Today's Nashay Taylor is live in studio to share some helpful tips on how we can all kind of reach out. Good morning.
Good morning to you both, and you definitely can help folks these days. Statistics show 80% of those who died by suicide talked about it with a loved one or friend about 1 week beforehand. Now, discussing mental health with loved ones can be uncomfortable, but mental health experts say your temporary discomfort of the conversation may be what can keep someone from harming themselves. Experts say don't hesitate to ask direct questions, and now that winter is in full effect, it may be time to check in with those you love, as the cold weather can be really hard for those dealing with mental health struggles.
So finding ways to be indoors and stay active, sticking to a routine, not putting your jammies on at 5 p.m. and cuddling up on the couch to stream some TV.
Now, if a person is withdrawn or no longer engaged in daily activities, experts say these may be signs that someone is struggling. Now, Jordan and Ashlyn, it is also recommended to check in on your loved ones regularly.
Yeah, a great reminder this morning and for all days.
Yeah, that's for sure. Nashay, thank you this morning.
Fargo City Commissioners talking about a makeover or demolition of the Broadway Bridge on the city's north side, which connects to the Oakport area of North Moorhead.
City engineers say the traffic data shows that it carries the least amount of traffic and is also the shortest. Options range from replacing it as is, replacing the diversion flow, or don't do anything and then reallocate the $4.2 million in federal aid. If you live in West Fargo, get ready to pay more for the water you use. West Fargo buys their water from the city of Fargo, and Fargo is adjusting their rates.
So that means West Fargo is raising prices too. They say because of inflation and the cost of electricity and chemicals, the change kicks in next month.
The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on.
More live up-to-the-minute news and weather coming up right now on the Fargo CW. In the meantime, I was hoping we had a shot of that seal. I wanted to see the Little Mermaid again.
Well, it's okay. We're seeing some nice green, something different that we don't see when we look outside.
Take care, everybody.